Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's change out the brake pads on our 2024 Suzuki GSX S1000. These are the tools that I used. Your front brake pads, FA447HH. I opted for the center pads. They bite a lot harder. I love that. For the front pads, all you need is an 8mm hex key and a flathead screwdriver. That's it. Nothing else for the front. The rear, a little bit more involved. You need a 12mm socket, a 5mm hex key, and a 6mm hex key, and that's about it. Looks like the rear pads are FA174B. Let's get right into it, and I'll show you what we're working with. The brake caliper bolts are an 8mm hex bolt. All right, got our caliper bolts off, and we'll slide our caliper out, and there's our stock brake pads. Go ahead and use a Phillips head. You can use a flat head as well, just to kind of press the old brake pads. Do not reuse your pads if you're going to do this. I am gouging these. I'm not going to reuse them. I'm going to throw them out. Don't do that. Make sure you do this part before you put your new pads in. There's the second pad out. Like I said, the bike only has 1,000 miles on it. These brake pads are barely worn in. Make sure that the piston's all the way down. Here's our new centered brake pads. They're both the same, so you can use whichever one on which side, it doesn't matter. They'll just slide right in. All right, just like so. They're in there, we're good to go. And then we'll get our bolts back in. Give these bolts a good little snug. We don't need any Loctite on these bolts. It's Brembo. I mean, they make good stuff. Just make sure they're all nice and snug. This side's done. Let's go ahead and knock out the other side, and then we'll do the rear. And on this side, same thing, 8mm hex. Brembo has really made these things super easy to change. Unfortunately, the rear brake is a Nissan, and I don't know how that's going to work, but these are just super easy. Same thing as last time. I'm going to compress them. Try and do it as even as possible here. There's one side. The other. Our pistons are in very far. Good to put the new ones on. They don't just slide in. You got to kind of, there's a little spring on the back side back here, back down in there. Kind of got to push them down up against that spring, and then they'll kind of pop in. So I got the bottom one in, this top one. Push it down and back, and then it'll slide in. Bottom in first. Get the bottom in first, and then line up the top. Push down and in, and then it'll slide in. Easy peasy. Get her lined up here and put these bolts back in. I mean, shoo! Front brake pad change maybe took 10 minutes, if that. The hardest thing was taking these bolts out. Rear's a little bit more intimidating. I know that I think there's a couple more things you have to take off to get them off. Dealer recommends on the rear that you take the rear wheel off. I'm not gonna do that, but that's just what they recommend. pads are done. Let's move on to the rear. So the first caliper bolt I'm taking off is a 12 mil. See what else we need to do here. Dang, I was on there with some force. This bolt is a 6mm hex. Ooh, we got a little slide pin action here. Baby's got some lube on it. Well, let's go ahead and disconnect our ABS sensor. And there we go. There's our rear brake pads. Looks like they're held in by a pin up top. Need a flathead to get this cover off right here. This is not the pin, it's just a cover to get to the pin. There's that. Just a little plastic cover. Looks like our pin is going to be a 5mm hex. There they go. Now with the pin out, we can remove our old brake pads. And I mean, they look brand new. They got 1,000 miles on them. I've never used my rear brakes, maybe a couple times, not often. Upgrade them with the EBC centered pads. They look the same. Let's go ahead and swap them out and get everything put back together. Put one pad on one side of the brake rotor and put one pad on the other. Just kind of let them hang there and screw back in our pin here that holds them up. Once it bottoms out, give it a little torque, nothing too crazy. Get our dust-proof cap back on with our flathead screwdriver. Okay, so here you can see our brake caliper, and it is right inside of the brackets. Looks good. And there's still a sufficient amount of lube on this. And we've got our 12mm on the bottom. Torque it down a little bit, don't go crazy. This other bolt, we'll torque that down as well. Don't go crazy. From the factory, it had a lot of torque on it, probably more than I would put. And I'll go ahead and put our wire, our ABS wire back up this little holder. Make sure that it's got plenty of slack. And that's about it. Hit the rear brake a couple times. When you hit it, it's gonna feel like there is no brakes, and then it should slowly come back to life. And there we go. So it's just 2 bolts, little cover screw, that's a flathead, and then the pin in there. And just like that, that is all it takes to do your front and rear brake pads on your GSX S1000. Took me about, I don't know, half hour, maybe, if that. Make sure you do this on your own. You can put more money into the actual pads that you get, other than taking it to a dealer, getting the stock pads, which are okay, but they're not performance based at all. Be safe out there, guys. Thank you for checking out this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.